Hi friends, this is Acharya Rachita back again with a new edition of the Magic of Tarot. It's a lovely Sunday out here, and I've just finished a very insightful and a very eye-opening tarot session with a client. So let me thought of getting my impressions on this reading as well as a little bit more about tarot, since I had started it in my last video with you. Last time I talked about what is tarot. You might refer to my earlier video on that topic. This time I want to speak a little bit more about who are the people who really benefit by a tarot reading. There are persons who have their birth details with them and who have probably been through a horoscope reading in their life before, and these are the people who might like to try on tarot because they believe in it as a supplementary reading. But then there are persons, who are actually, I would say, the maximum beneficiaries of this tarot science are the persons, if you are one of those who do not know your birth details, or suppose you have your date of birth but you're not very sure about your time of birth. In that case, an accurate horoscope cannot be made for you. But as you are going on in this life, trying to make choices, trying to make important decisions, you also require some divine guidance. So do not despair if you do not have your birth details, because we have the tarot only for you. So the persons who really benefit, or the persons who would really get guidance about their future through this, are the people who are not very sure, or who are not in the possession of their birth details. That is one section of the clients or the queries which come here. Then there are other persons also. For example, you are on the threshold of a major career decision. It's either job A, or it's either job B, or it's either job C, or it could be even an interesting a decision like, for example, you've been in a job for very long, but there is a strong urge inside of you to branch out and be creative and independent and set up your own business, or your own any kind of creative outlet. What do you do? Is it the right step for you? Would it make financial sense for you? Would you get creative satisfaction? Would you get money? Would you get fame? So many questions, which are encircling us all the time. We do not know who to confide in. We do not know who to trust. We cannot go to our colleagues. Then we cannot go to our family members all the time, because probably we would not be comfortable sharing so many of our inner details with them. That is when, a good tarot reader actually comes in very, very handy. He's like that very impartial observer, but somebody who's deeply interested in your problems, and also, more importantly, a sincere tarot card reader is somebody who has your best interests at heart. Because see, tarot essentially or fundamentally is a fusion of energies. I am a tarot reader sitting here. I have this aura, or I have this auric energy around me, or there is this this energy field around me, and there is a client in front of me, a person who needs some kind of resolution of his problem. He has his energy field around him. It is basically on this platform that your energy and my energy are going to fuse together, or they're going to blend together. So this blending of energies, it's very important, so that the confusion which is there in your mind, the querist's or the client's mind, should be just crystal clear. And it's my clarity of the aura that is going to dissipate the shadows of your own aura and help you to arrive at clear decision making. So tarot, finally, in a nutshell, is informed decision making, better choice making, and helps you get guidance in all aspects of life, whether it is your career, whether it is your relationships, about marriage, about divorce, about whether to get married, whether to get divorced, whether to get into relationship with person A, B, or C, whether to get into a job, whether will I get along with my boss or not, should I leave this job and move on to something else, will I travel abroad, I'm having problems with my children, how do I control my children? So we do a tarot spread for your children. It's even as insightful as that. So you see the kind of multitude of usages that tarot card reading can actually bring up for you. It absolutely fills your life with ideas and solutions and different channels of action. It's like action 1, 2, 3, and a person after a tarot reading goes back energized, goes back with a lot of thoughts in his mind, because his mind has become sort of awakened with the possibilities of his growth. So after all this singing the praises of tarot. Let me guide you through a typical tarot session. Like I told you in the beginning of this video, I just finished doing this session with a lady who had come in. She had come in for a horoscope consultation, but she also wanted a kind of a tarot reading at the end, because there was a major decision that she has been wanting to take. Now she's an interior designer, and she has been in a job or in an employment for some time, so she's got corporate experience behind her. But now she was at the juncture of expanding her business. She had started her own practice about 2 years back, but it was not doing as well as expected. So she wanted to know, the question is, should I continue with my business? She's in a partnership with another lady, and should she continue in that business or not, or should she branch out? Now the questions here are, number one is that should she continue as a private practitioner? Number two, should she continue in partnership or should she venture out solo? And number three, when are things likely to improve as far as her profession are concerned? So these are the typical cards that came out for her. Now in a tarot spread, we can have a simple 1-card spread. We can have a simple 3-card spread. 3-card spread is perhaps the most popular, very powerful. And these 3 cards can be interpreted differently. Some of them are like the past, the present and the future. Some we do as the obstacle. Some we do as the current problem, and then probably the solution to the problem. So in each of these spreads, I as a tarot card reader, I always gauge the situation. You have to be sensitive enough to gauge the situation, and then I interpret the spread accordingly. I take the meaning of the cards accordingly as per the query or as per the dynamics of the tarot reading which is going on. Now in this case, I did a 5-card free will spread with her, and this is the first card which came up with her, which is basically a 4 of Wands. Now 4 of Wands again shows a situation, or it shows a scenario where this lady is associated, because this is the past, or which has brought her to this present point. It shows very clearly that she's a lady who is immersed in some kind of beautifying of either houses or residences or structures, and also a very keen aesthetic mind she has, and she does it with a lot of love, and she does it with a lot of a sense of security for the clients. So this is the business that she is currently in. The next card which came up was the Queen of Swords. This is one of the court cards which comes up in our tarot reading, and in a court card, what is very particular is that it generally reflects the person in the entire situation. It could be the querist herself, or it could be any of the other persons, who are very dominant in this situation. In this case, I would interpret it, the Queen of Wands, I would interpret as this person, because Queen of Wands, as this querist herself, she is very independent, she's very creative, because this is a card again of creativity, of entrepreneurship, of going out and trying to have an identity for yourself. And here is a card of a lady who is very much in command of the situation, and we see that she is in a creative work, and she has got her vision very clear, and she's trying to make a name for herself in her field. But next card which comes up is here. This particular card, Judgment, is again a major arcana card, and like I will talk about subsequently in my next video in detail, that each of these cards, the major arcana cards, either pertains to a particular planet in astrology, as we talk about in astrology, or it talks about a particular zodiac sign. We have the 12 zodiac signs and the 9 planets, and all of these major arcana cards are corresponding to that. I'll take it up in the next video in detail, so you can follow that. But here the Judgment card is basically pertaining to the planet Saturn, okay? And Saturn is also, because if we just go by the imagery of this card, it shows very clearly that somewhere there is a karmic balance here which has not been favorable to the lady, and she's got some past burdens which she has to repay, or probably something which she has done in the past regarding her professional practice, which is now coming back to give her negative returns. So we see here another card, which is the next one, because the surrounding cards are extremely important in a spread. And this is the card which is a little scary or a little tricky, because it's the 7 of Swords here, and number 7 card and plus swords there, which will definitely indicate some kind of treachery or cheating, and this is exactly what she was subjected to. So we are going to connect the past, and we are going to connect this treachery right now here. And this was a person, this was a person when this lady was just starting out in her corporate life. There was one lady who had felt betrayed by her, because my querist had gone on to get a promotion while the other one had been left behind, though they had started out as equals. So it is this lady who now decided to play pranks, and she had actually gone to 2 or 3 of the querist's very famous clients, and there had been backstabbing, and there had been a lot of storytelling, etc. about this querist. So she had been very much instrumental in harming the reputation of my client, which in turn had led to slower sales for her business. So we see here, and finally we come to the card here. This is the King of Swords. Okay, King of Swords coming out here after this particular card, after a Swords again, which shows that treachery has to be paid by stern action, discipline, and because again it's a male card, it's a male court card, which shows that though my querist is a lady herself into a very feminine kind of field of interior decor and beautifying and everything, and she is very gentle by nature herself, but she would have to acquire features of the King of Swords. So which means that the need of the hour is that she needs to become very stern. She probably needs to initiate some kind of legal action against this lady who has betrayed her, and also that she would need to be very direct, because it's a sword card, which means communication. There is a lack of communication with her clients, so she needs to approach each of her clients on an individual basis. She will have to become very bold and very courageous. A little difficult for her perhaps, given her basic nature, but since this is the guidance card, this is the impression, or this is the advice that she has walked out with, and she was fairly bubbling with energy, because right now what this tarot reading did for her was open her eyes to the reason why things were going wrong in spite of her hard work. So when the person is clear about the reason, half their confusion dies down, and what shines bright in the future is the course of action. So she has left very, very optimistic. And I would urge all of you, so this is like a walkthrough of a very real case of a real person here. And I would say that you should also, for your confusions, your doubts and your questions, definitely go in for a tarot reading. Thank you.